Recorded Books presents Elric of Melniboné, The Elric Saga, Volume 1, by Michael Moorcock. Narrated by Samuel Roukin. One Life, furnished in Early Moorcock, by Neil Gaiman. The pale albino prince lofted on high his great black sword. "This is Stormbringer," he said, "and it will suck your soul right out." The princess sighed. "Very well," she said. "If that is what you need to get the energy you need to fight the dragon warriors, then you must kill me, and let your broadsword feed on my soul." "I do not want to do this," he said to her. "That's okay," said the princess. And with that she ripped her flimsy gown and bared her chest to him. "That is my heart," she said, pointing with her finger. "And that is where you must plunge." He had never got any further than that. That had been the day he had been told he was being moved up a year, and there hadn't been much point after that. He'd learned not to try and continue stories from one year to another. Now he was 12. It was a pity, though. The essay title had been Meeting My Favourite Literary Character, and he'd picked Elric. He'd toyed with Coram, or Jerry Cornelius, or even Conan the Barbarian. But Elric of Melniboné won, hands down, just like he always did. Richard had first read Stormbringer 3 years ago, at the age of 9. He'd saved up for a copy of The Singing Citadel. Something of a cheat, he decided on finishing. Only one Elric story. And then borrowed the money from his father to buy The Sleeping Sorceress, found in a spin rack while they were on holiday in Scotland last summer. In The Sleeping Sorceress, Elric met Ericose and Coram, 2 other aspects of the Eternal Champion, and they all got together. Which meant, he realized, when he finished the book, that the Coram books and the Ericose books, and even the Dorian Hawkmoon books, were really Elric books too. So he began buying them, and he enjoyed them. They weren't as good as Elric, though. Elric was the best. Sometimes he'd sit and draw Elric, trying to get him right. None of the paintings of Elric on the covers of the books looked like the Elric that lived in his head. He drew the Elrics with a fountain pen in empty school exercise books he had obtained by deceit. On the front cover, he'd write his name, Richard Grey, Do Not Steal. Sometimes he thought he ought to go back and finish writing his Elric story. Maybe he could even sell it to a magazine. But then, what if Moorcock found out? What if he got into trouble? The classroom was large, filled with wooden desks. Each desk was carved and scored and ink-stained by its occupant, an important process. There was a blackboard on the wall with a chalk drawing on it. A fairly accurate representation of a male penis heading towards a Y shape intended to represent the female genitalia. The door downstairs banged, and someone ran up the stairs. "Grey, you spasmo, what you doing up here? We're meant to be down on the lower acre. You're playing football today." "We are? I am?" "It was announced at Assembly this morning, and the list is up on the game's notice board." J.B.C. McBride was sandy-haired, bespectacled, only marginally more organised than Richard Grey. There were 2 J. McBrides, which was how he ranked a full set of initials. Oh. Grey picked up a book, Tarzan at the Earth's Core, and headed off after him. The clouds were dark grey, promising rain or snow. People were forever announcing things he didn't notice. He would arrive in empty classes, miss organised games, arrive at school on days when everyone else had gone home. Sometimes he felt as if he lived in a different world to everyone else. He went off to play football. Tarzan at the Earth's Core shoved down the back of his scratchy blue football shorts. He hated the showers and the baths. He couldn't understand why they had to use both, but that was just the way it was. He was freezing,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?